Hello, courageous widows. It's Denise here. A widow just like you. A widow that struggled. I struggled and struggled and struggled to find me. I struggled to find my equilibrium after Martin died. I lost my husband Martin in 2009 to a sudden blood clot. He just went to work and basically didn't come home. So I know what it's like to travel the journey of widowhood. I know the stigma that's attached to being a widow. I know what it's like to move forward and to then take 20 steps back. So welcome. Please like and subscribe and share this channel to as many widow friends that you know, because together we can all help each other be courageous, find our courage to move forward, to reimagine your life, because that's what it takes as a widow. And that's exactly what I want to speak to you today about, is how do you go from that devastating blow that you've had of losing your life partner, losing the love of your life, to finding joy? Now, we can't go from grief to joy in one big step. It just doesn't happen that way. I wish it did. I wish we could just wait for time. I wish we could just go through the 5 stages of grief and, miraculously we'd wake up one morning and, wow, look, everything's happy. I'm so happy. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. We have to actually actively be involved in our own grief healing journey. We have to be actively involved in being happy. It's a decision, and it's one decision that we have to make. That's all, just one decision. So stick around till the end. I'm going to give you some pointers on how you can actually go from feeling lost, feeling lonely, feeling overwhelmed, feeling completely fearful of your future, to being happy, joyful, with purpose, knowing that, you know what, life is great, and being happy and joyful again. And I know that for some of you listening and watching today, you're going to be going, but Denise, you don't understand. We were together for so many years. I don't know how to start. I was there too. And so were so many of my clients. When we start working together, it's a journey. But it's not a journey that takes years and years and years and years. It really doesn't. I don't want you to be stuck in your grief for years, because grief creates dis-ease in the body, because we feel that sadness, we feel that pain. And you know what? Here's the thing. Have you thought that you're feeling now, that you're feeling, and I might just be depression and not grief? I don't know how long you've been a widow. I don't know how long you've been on your own or how long you've been on this journey. That's your journey. But it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter if it's 3 months, 6 months, or 12 years. Your journey starts today. Your healing journey starts today. Your rediscovery journey starts today. So draw a line in the sand. Just draw a line in the sand, and from today, I'm going to move forward. From today, I'm going to start loving myself. Now, I know that sounds so easy. Oh, I'll just love myself. Oh, I'll just move forward. Yeah, whatever. Everybody says, think positive. Just think positive and you'll be okay. Well, I tried that. I tried to think positive after Martin passed away. I was only 51. Yeah, I thought I had it. I thought I knew what I was doing. I always talk about that as my old life, because that's exactly what it was. It's my old life. I was a bookkeeper to small business. That's what I did. And I thought, well, okay, I've got this. I'll just keep working. I'll just keep busy and I'll keep positive. In the comments below, how many of you do that? How many of you have just carried on and soldiered on regardless? Yeah. Yeah, we all do that because we are taught that. We are told, just don't focus, just keep yourself busy and don't focus on your loss. That is the worst thing we can do. Why is it so bad to do it? Because our grief festers beneath the surface. it festers and it festers and it festers and it festers. I bet you anything you are nodding your head now when I say, how many of you are maybe 3 or 4 years in your journey and you'll be driving the car somewhere, totally not even thinking of anything. Maybe you're going to your grandkids or you're going to your kids or you're going shopping or you're doing something. You're not thinking of anything and a song will come on the radio. And out of the blue, you will just burst into tears. That song brought up all those negative memories. It brought up the pain. You see, anything that is unresolved is a trigger. So anything that triggers you in your grief and you go, oh man, where did that come from? That came out of nowhere. No, it didn't come out of nowhere. It's because you have suppressed that feeling. You have suppressed that grief. So how do you go from grief to joy? How do you do it? I would want to speak to you first about is how not to do it. How do you not go from grief to joy? What is going to keep you stuck? The first thing is stop talking about your grief. Stop talking about how sad you are. I went to talk therapy. I went and saw a psychologist who every week for 6 months we spoke about how I was feeling. Till eventually one day I said to her, when am I going to start feeling better? And she looked at me and she said, Denise, you've lost your husband. This is going to be at least 5 to 7 years because you've got to wait for time. You know, time heals all. And you've got to go through the 5 stages of grief. Well, that freaked me out. That really freaked me out because I didn't want to be like this. I know Martin wouldn't want me to be crying every day, to have that heavy feeling, to not be smiling, to not be laughing. I had grandkids. I had kids. I wanted to be there for them. But I couldn't. I just couldn't be there for them because I was in so much pain. You know, widow fog is real. Brain fog is real. I didn't know because I didn't have any of my friends that had lost a husband. I didn't know that my forgetfulness and that my repeating myself and lack of concentration and wanting to sleep was perfectly normal. I didn't know that. I thought that I was going crazy until I realized, hang on, why am I feeling like this? There has to be a different way. There has to be another way of moving through grief. There has to be another way. I then put the shoe on the other foot, so to speak, right? I said, okay, if I had died and I was up in heaven looking down on Martin, would I want to see him living? How would I want to see him living the rest of his life? Would I want to see him crying every day? Would I want to see him sitting with a shrine to me every day? Or would I want to see him loving life? And obviously, I would want to see him loving life. So I put the shoe back on my foot again and went, well, that's exactly how he wants me to be. So stop talking about your grief. Stop going into grief groups where everybody shares their sad story. What does that do? It just reinforces your sad story and that somebody else has got a sad story and that person's got a sad story and maybe their story is worse than yours. So maybe somebody's husband died in tragic circumstances or much worse way than what your husband passed away. Maybe their circumstances are crazy as well. Maybe they've got 5 kids and they're penniless. And for that brief moment, it makes you feel a little bit better that, oh, my situation's not as bad as theirs. But here's the truth. Your situation is your situation. Their situation is their situation. Whatever it is, it is. It's their story. It's your story. You lost your husband. And the fact that you lost your husband makes it no less than anybody else. It's no worse than anybody else's story. But it's different because we all grieve differently. We all love differently. We all grieve differently. So Stop talking about how sad you are and how you're feeling. Because what that does is that keeps you stuck. It keeps you stuck in your past. We have to start letting go. Now, that sounds so easy. You know, we have to feel. The first step that I teach in my flow method is to feel. We have to feel our pain, not mask it, not pretend that we're okay, not go and buy a bottle of wine and drown our sorrows because it numbs the pain, not go and buy millions of pairs of shoes like I did in every color to numb the pain. We have to actually feel that pain. Then we can let it go. We can start letting it go. Not the love that we had for our husbands, not the love that we shared together, not the life that we shared together, but the pain, the heartache. Once we let it go, guess what happens? We now have a void. We now have okay, I've let go. Now what? Now what? If we don't install new behaviors, a new way of being, we're going to revert right back to who we were before, into that sadness. So that's the O in the flow, where we have to start learning to overcome. What are you overcoming? How are you overcoming? You're learning to love yourself. You're learning that, who am I now? Who am I now? Who am I now without my husband? I didn't know. I didn't know because we were one person. We got married young. So I didn't know who I was until after he passed away. That's when my journey, it's an inner journey of growth. This was your opportunity, girls and ladies, to actually just start your joy journey, to start your joy journey of growth. Because that's what it is. It's growing into who you are. Because you're no longer the wife. You're no longer that person anymore. So who are you now? Because then you can become whole, which is the W. When we become whole, we now know, okay, I can start reimagining my new life. What do I want to do? Do I want to travel? Do I want to build another home? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? So it's vital that you start moving forward. And you start moving forward, but growing forward. I hope that makes sense. So, ladies, if you want to know any more information, I've got my links in the description below. Book a call with me if you want to book a call with me. And also in the comments below, just comment how you have started moving forward in your life. Comment how long you've been a widow. Because you are a courageous widow and it takes courage to move forward. It really takes courage, but you are courageous. Even though right now you might not feel that you're courageous, you might, Denise, I have got no courage. Yes, you do. I'm here to say, yes, you do. So reach out to me, comment below. Let's start a conversation. And remember, please share, like, and subscribe to the channel so that that you're not going to miss out anything. But most importantly, let's create a movement, a widow movement, a courageous widow movement. Thank you so much for being with me today, ladies. And remember, you can do this and you've got this.